back to my channel. My name is TracyLynette. If you are new here, welcome. If you're one of my returning subscribers, thank you so much for joining for yet another weekly review. So guys, I know it's been a few weeks since I've been in front of the camera and brought you a fragrance review, and for that I do apologize. I have still been testing week after week all of these new releases, and I'm going to do a complete haul for you here very soon. But I wanted to bring you this new KAYALI release because it just came out a couple days ago, and I did not want to wait or have you wait to get my thoughts and opinions on this new release. So if you are new here and you like my content, please don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button before you exit today. I would love to have you be a part of the TracyLynette tribe and my little fragrance community here on YouTube. All right, guys, so KAYALI has just been cranking them out, right? We just got the Young Bougie Marshmallow a few months ago, which I love. And now they have given us another fragrance, this time a rose fragrance. KAYALI is known for their sweet, candy-ish, gourmand fragrances. However, they do have some musky fragrances and some different fragrances, but they're known for more of the sweeter fragrances. So when KAYALI announced that they were coming out with a rose fragrance, I'm like, yep, sign me up. Sign me up, okay? I am a rose girl. I know that I talk a lot about gourmands on this channel. I am a gourmand lover to my core. However, as of lately, I have really become a rose girl. I'm really in love with the fragrance note of rose. If you are new to this channel, you would not know this, but if you have been one of my faithful subscribers, you know that my number one fragrance of all time is Parfums de Marly Delina, which is a rose fragrance. It is a masterpiece. It is how rose is supposed to be done. Actually, that is the fragrance that made me fall in love with rose. I always said, oh, I don't like rose. I love roses, but I did not like rose as a fragrance note. I just thought it was just too matronly, too mature. It just wasn't my vibe. However, Delina changed the game. Delina changed it for me. Ever since I got Delina, I have become a rose fragrance lover. Like, I love that. If I see rose is in a note in a fragrance, it always captured me. So KAYALI doing a rose fragrance, I had to have it. So the new fragrance, the KAYALI FLEUR Majesty Rose Royale 31, which is a mouthful, I had to write it down, was something that I wanted to get my nose on for a couple of reasons. Number one, the rose, and number two, or maybe number one, the bottle. The bottle is one of the most beautiful bottles that I have ever seen. And I'll put a picture of the full bottle up on the screen so we can really take time to appreciate the beautiful pink and purple ombre, which is really, really indicative of the juice in my opinion. It starts off one way and it fades to something else, which we'll get into here in just a minute. But take a look at that bottle. It is beautiful. I got the 10 ml and the 10 ml is beautiful. The 10 ml is just as pretty as the big bottle, and then the box is the same. It's the pink and it fades into the purple. It's just really, really pretty. This is just really, really beautiful. KAYALI always is going to give us top tier packaging, top tier marketing. And so I really love that. Now, let's jump into the review and let's get real honest here. Sometimes the beautiful packaging and the top tier marketing that KAYALI does is not always indicative or an indication of what the juice is going to smell like. Let's just be honest. Sometimes it can be a little bit misleading is what I have found. And that started with the pistachio gelato for me. I wanted that to be something because of the way it was marketed, and it wasn't that. I do like that fragrance, but it wasn't at all what a lot of us thought it was going to be, right? So when I seen the Rose Royale, I'm like, you know what, Tracy, don't get caught up into the hype of the bottle and the marketing. Test it. Get a travel size and test it. So let's just do that now. It is my scent of the day, so this is not a first impression. I've had a chance to play around with this fragrance, but it is my scent of the day, and I've had it on for a couple hours. So I want to give it a good squirt here so you guys can see that beautiful, beautiful atomizer. It gives a very great mist. So KAYALI also never skimps on that. They always give really good atomizers, and this is no different. So on the initial spray, it is beautiful. It is a beautiful scent on the initial spray. It is fruity. It's a fruity floral fragrance at the top. It has peach and it has mandarin, it has orange and pear. And I pick up on those juicy fruits at the beginning with a little hint, just ever so slightly a hint of rose and violet. Now, as it develops, which it quickly does, that juicy fruitiness starts to fade pretty quickly. And I hate that, because that is the best part of the fragrance for me. That juiciness at the beginning with a little bit of mix of the florals is what I was hoping this fragrance would be. I wish it stayed like that. However, as this fragrance starts to develop, my love for it dwindles into a like. It's just a like for me. The rose in this fragrance is not like Delina. I've heard some people say and compare it to Givenchy's Irresistible. Now, Givenchy Irresistible is a beautiful rose fragrance to me. It's very sheer and light and just really pretty. I really do like Givenchy's Irresistible. However, the KAYALI fragrance does remind me a bit of that. However, it takes a turn. Something goes left in this fragrance for me with the rose, the violet, and magnolia. It turns very powdery. Very powdery, and violet can do that sometimes on my skin. I have other fragrances that have violet in it, and it turns very powdery, and I don't like that. I do not like a powdery fragrance at all. Now, in the rose in this, to me, is like a vintage rose. It's not like the rose in Delina, that Turkish rose that's very modern. It's a modern spin on rose, which makes it so beautiful. Even in the Givenchy Irresistible, the rose done in that fragrance to me is more modern. The rose used in this KAYALI is a bit more powdery, more vintage, and I hate to say this, but cloying. There is something very cloying about this fragrance to me. It turns into something that's just not wearable on my skin. I don't hate it, but I don't love it because it's just not very wearable. Now, I do say that this is a fragrance that is not a safe blind buy. So if you think, oh, I love rose fragrances, I'm gonna love this, definitely get your nose on it first. I would not recommend blind buying this. However, if you like, I've also heard this compared to Delina Exclusive. Delina Exclusive to me is blended a lot better. It's more, it's a more wearable scent for me. I am not the biggest fan of Delina Exclusive because it's just too powdery. It turns too powdery on my skin. That's why the OG Delina will always be my favorite. It is just a masterpiece in my opinion. Quentin Biche, the perfumer behind that, never really misses for me, and what started my love for rose. I do love Delina La Rosée as well. That is an aquatic take on the original Delina. But the Delina Exclusive, if you like that fragrance, if you like that powdery facet about that fragrance, you may in fact like this one. So fragrance is subjective, right? And it wears different on everyone. Everyone's body chemistry is different. It's not the same. So how it wears on me, it may not wear like that on you. So I definitely encourage you, if you haven't done so, to get your nose on this fragrance. And if you've had a chance to get your nose on it, you own it, please let me know in the comments how you like it, how it wears on you, because you may have a very different interpretation of this fragrance than I do, and I love to hear about it. So for me, and I want to get into the fragrance notes here too, and then we can talk a little bit more, but it is a pretty fragrance. I think it's great for spring. If this is your vibe, if you like that powdery type of rose fragrance, I think it'd be great for spring. The longevity piece is definitely there. I got 6+ hours on my skin and even longer on my clothes. So it definitely has that longevity piece, which is what you really want in a fragrance, because these fragrances are just too expensive to have the fragrances fade quickly. And a lot of the new releases have that issue where they're not lasting long. But with this fragrance and with a lot of KAYALI fragrances, they always are going to give you that longevity, and this is no different. So you are going to get that longevity with this fragrance. Let's jump into the fragrance notes. We'll talk a little bit more and I'll wrap it up, okay? So the fragrance notes, the top notes are pear, peach, mandarin, and orange. Middle notes are peony, rose, violet, and magnolia. And the base notes are vanilla, praline, and Brock Super, musk, and vetiver. So a lot of notes, right? A lot of notes. So this is not a fragrance that is not, I wouldn't say it's overly complicated, but there is some different, you know, facets and nuances in it that it you don't get at the beginning. So it definitely changes. So it's just not a linear fragrance at all. So what you get at the top is not what you're gonna get in the mid and the base. So I do like that it's more complicated. It's just not, you know, a fun, fruity, you know, playful juvenile fragrance. This one is a little bit more complicated, and it does have a little more complexity to it, which makes it, you know, a powerhouse in my opinion. It is a very nice fragrance if this is what you like. This could be definitely someone's signature scent. It definitely just gives vintage to me. So if you like the rose of yesteryear, if you like that vintage vibe, if you like Delina exclusive, if you like a powdery rose, definitely this may be something that you like. As for me, it is a like, it is not a love. When I first sprayed it on the dry down, I honestly really disliked it. But I said, you know what? Let me buy at least a 10 ml and test it on my skin and try it for a couple of days, which I did, and it became more likable. I have been wearing the Bath & Body Works Covered in Roses body lotion with it, and to me, that makes it a little bit more wearable. The Covered in Roses is a dupe for Delina, and a very good dupe. So it gives that sweetness, and it gives the more modern rose, which kinds of brings out the rose in this fragrance to me, and makes it a little bit less cloying, because it provides the sweetness and the more youthfulness that I was looking for in this fragrance. So I say, if you don't like it as a standalone, try it with the Bath & Body Works Covered in Roses body lotion, and it definitely helped. It definitely helped for me. Now, is this something I will be pulling for? No. Is it something that I will get a full bottle of? No, not for me. If I do pick up a full bottle, it will only be because I really love the bottle. The bottle is just so pretty that I would love to have that bottle in my collection. But in terms of the juice, would I pick it up because of the juice? No, absolutely not. It's just not something that I would reach for. If I want my rose fix, I will reach for Delina, I will reach for Givenchy Irresistible, or the Covered in Roses by Bath & Body Works, because it gives me the rose that I'm looking for. It gives me that modern twist, that youthfulness that I like and what I like in rose. So I just want to bring you my quick thoughts and reviews on the new KAYALI Rose fragrance, because I had to. I just had to. I started seeing a lot of reviews, and I'm like, I want to give my TracyLynette tribe my thoughts and opinions, and I also wanted to get your thoughts and opinions on it. So again, that's really all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope that you're having a great week. I hope that you have a blessed week. And like I always say, don't forget to what? Always smell good, look good, and be good. And guys, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.